everyone, my name is Nicole Engel and I will be talking about the theory of ethnopediatrics and its beginning stages, an important anthropologist within the subject, the implication this has on anthropology in the future, and highlight how this affects our perception of culture to begin with. The theory of ethnopediatrics began its history in anthropology at a conference in Atlanta, Georgia in 1984. The conference aimed to examine culturally determined sets of beliefs and attitudes about how development, social, cognitive, and physical, take place, as well as ways in which those notions inform actions of parents and other caregivers. Members who attended the conference came from a variety of backgrounds: anthropology, child development, pediatrics, and psychology. The range of individuals in attendance gave ethnopediatrics a cross-cultural and interdisciplinary nature. Borrowing research from within biology, psychology, child development, and others allowed for significant insight. There are specific beliefs that are central to the concept of ethnopediatrics. For instance, treatment of children has a direct impact on health and development of the child. Additionally, behaviors of the infant and caregiver are shaped by the actions, attainments, and perceptions of one another. These continuous behavioral loops are always influencing one another. The goals of the members who attended the conference are to highlight the culturally relative functions served by parenting styles and to explore the effects those styles might have on the biologically fixed infant. They also sought to uncover the mismatches that may exist between biology of the baby and the cultural styles of parents. At the conference, members looked at specific case studies. They involved infant feeding, crying, and colic, dietary management of diarrhea, cultural beliefs, infant feeding practices, and growth faltering, and maternal workload and infant survival. Meredith Small is an important figure within ethnopediatrics. She stresses the need to take into account the individual child and the surrounding cultural, social, and political framework. She also desired to uncover whether mismatches might exist between the biology of the baby and the cultural styles of the parents. Factors that shape everyday realities and therefore the baby's development are cultural ideals, biological ideals, health and development ideals. These three factors influence how we see the world and how the baby will see it too. Ethnopediatrics aims to unite knowledge from different areas of study to mobilize existing resources for child welfare and development. Ethnopediatrics relies on knowledge of the fossil record and how non-human mothers interact with their babies. Babies are born neurologically unfinished and designed by natural selection to be part of an adult-infant symbiotic relationship. Topics of interest include sleep patterns, child development theory, and breastfeeding mechanics. All babies have the same needs: to sleep, to be fed, and to be responded to when they cry. Throughout cultures, these needs can be addressed in a variety of ways, and these differences are attributed to culture. Ethnopediatrics calls for expanding of notions of what we think is right and to include wisdom and experiences of other cultures. Some behaviors are almost universal within infant development. However, parenting practices vary dramatically from culture to culture. Behavior differences can occur in many aspects, including talking to baby, allowing baby to explore, holding the baby, or feeding the baby. People within some cultures do not talk with the baby for a certain period of time. They coo or mumble instead. How often the baby is held is another area where differences commonly occur. American families do not hold the baby often. They use strollers or cribs. Commonly, other cultures hold their baby or use a sling, allowing baby to see the world. Another area of interest is exploring. Some cultures do not let their baby's feet touch the ground for a certain period of time. Others want their babies to grow to be curious and independent and promote babies spending time exploring the environment as soon as they are able to. Exploring starts with the way babies are held. Feeding of the baby is culturally linked. We can see this in trends away from breastfeeding and towards the bottle in the United States, as well as in the differences in feeding schedules across cultures. Babies in many cultures are on their own feeding schedule, meaning they feed when they are hungry. But it is common in the United States to see U.S. mothers feeding their moms on scheduled time intervals. In Western culture, we are used to seeing the stroller as a common way of transporting babies around. Other cultures differ on how much they hold their babies and in the methods they choose to carry their babies in general. The The amount of time spent holding a baby increases bonding and allows the baby to see what the mom is seeing as well as be part of the interactions taking place, rather than being separate from the occurrence. In our ancestral past, it was common and almost always occurred that the baby would sleep with the parents. However, now there are varying methods. Co-sleeping allows for the baby to mimic breathing, to feed when they need to, and it is important for bonding. Co-sleeping reduces the risk of colic and allows for attention to be paid to the baby as soon as they are asking for it through crying. While some cultural practices are not supporting development of babies to their potential, the cultural practices taking place during parenting shape the child to adapt to their society's culture. It is also a common thought that your own parenting style is the best, and it has arrived there through observation and communication and is hard to change. All parenting styles have implications or possible effects on attachment. Because attachment plays a huge role in cognitive, social, and physical development, it is important to examine the levels of attachment that arise from different parenting styles. The amount of time spent with baby cuddling, sleeping, feeding, holding, talking to, etc. all play a role in bonding and attachment. There are a few problems within this theory. By using the term infants, we are already being culturally specific. Cultures use different categories to gauge development of the baby. We can't necessarily interview babies either. Observation and communication with parents is necessary, and this is where the transfer of culture begins in the first place. Ethnopediatrics is a new addition to anthropology and the world of science, but has a heavy indication on child development and the impact culture has on development. Bringing together aspects of integration of culture through interactions and communication, as well as biology, will lead to a greater understanding of society and the